Behind the curtain of the universe lies the Ascendant Plane. Here, causality meets consciousness, and worlds are born. Go. Find our lost Techians and bring them home.
I'm noticing dimensional distortions in your ghost's readings. A beacon should be nearby. Detecting beacon alignment, but there are enemies closing on your position.
A whole reality, sculpted by strength of will. And all we've seen are the thinnest edges of the Ascendant Plane.
I'm detecting beacon alignment, but there are enemies closing on your position. last beacon aligned. Be ready for anything. Have aligned and the rift is open. Bring our Techian home.
Every tech witch we rescue gets us one step closer to finding Osiris.
Good. He won't wait long.
Perhaps we find Osiris before Savathun's plan hatches. Then we let Xivu Arath tear her to pieces.
That sounds dangerous. I wouldn't want to feed one hive god to another.
Yes, but it is entertaining to picture.
I am at your mercy, Guardian. This construct protects me from those who wish me harm, from my worm's hunger. But it is a prison, too. Quite elegant, don't you think? I have only one regret, and that is how long it took me to reveal myself to you. I see your synapses firing. A specimen scarred by skepticism. They call me a liar, but we share mutual interests, you and I. If you believe anything I tell you, believe in that. Now, let me show you a different interpretation of the truth. Who is Savathun, you ask? You already know. Oh, guardian mine. I am your friend. I tried to protect you from the Black Fleet. You called it interference. Don't worry. I was not offended. Instead, I found a form more pleasing to your eyes. Osiris was lost. Lightless. I saved him from Xivu Arath and assumed his shape so I could guide your victory against her. I ferried the reborn prince to your city so he could be redeemed. I protected Zavala from Kaido's ambitions, ending a war before it could even begin. I delivered the House of Light on its knees to Ikora. I unmasked the enemies lurking inside your city's walls and destroyed them. You may disagree with my methods, but you can't argue with results. I am no villain, and you are no hero. We are paracausal.
This is my fault. I invited her in. I convinced Zavala that we needed Osiris by our side. A dark pit looked back every time I met his eyes, and I told myself it was his grief. Savathun knew she could use that. The city is the last place Xivu Arath would have searched for her. Now, Saint is tearing the system apart, looking for the real Osiris. You and Crow will need to take point with the Awoken. I don't like it, but he wants to help, and he's earned some trust. It's his decision. We're in a downpour of revelation. I've been trying to analyze every drop of information, as if I could isolate them before they're washed away. There's so much I need to reevaluate, so much I need to do. Interrogate the Witch Queen while we have a captive audience. Our enemies often flirt with arrogance when they believe they've won. See if she'll let her true intentions slip. Come back safe.
I know you have reservations about my arrangement with Savathun. I feel it in your heart. For all her clever machinations, the Witch Queen did not anticipate your success in stopping Ikora or the Endless Night. Her schemes unravel, and now she needs my protection from Xivu Arath, from the Worm Gods, from you. I have already learned much by observation. The Taken pursued her here. Taken she once controlled. Taken that now serve a new master. Or, if Savathun is to be believed, their original master. Not her brother, Oryx, but something far older. She fears it. It commands Xivu Arath to conquer the Ascendant space surrounding the Dreaming City. To use the Taken in her campaign against us. For now. Savathun claims that without the Taken, she cannot break the curse she placed on the Dreaming City. She thinks she can entice me with these half-truths and secret temptations, but she underestimates the lengths to which I will go to correct the past.
The attacks against the Blind Well have become stronger lately.
Is Xivu Arath trying to rescue Savathun?
Xivu Arath has plans for her sister. They do not involve a rescue.
We've got to prevent the Scorn from poisoning the ley lines. Destroy the ether before they can harvest it.
Are we sure there's no way to save that ether? I know a lot of Elixni on the shore who could really use it.
This is no time for sympathy. We're here to save the Dreaming City, not the Elixni. We'll have a window of opportunity after the servitors release their ether, but before it reaches the harvesters. That's when we strike.
I know it's hard to destroy good ether when the House of Light goes hungry, but sacrifices must be made. Mithrax Kell would understand.
The Taken are massing for another attack. They just can't take a hint.
Xivu Arath won't let them. They're driven by an insatiable need to heed her commands.
I saw the same thing with the cryptoliths on the shore. So many minds ruined by her need to dominate. Holding Taken essence will feel strangely powerful. Bank as many as needed to end the assault.
The strong forcing the weak to fight on their behalf. It's the oldest story in the world. Good work, Guardian. Paracausal energy readings are back to nominal levels. The Taken energy has dissipated. For now.
We've got incoming. Keep your compass safe until after the shooting stops.
Sometimes.
Savathun?
Yes. It's as if she's reaching out to me, delicately, like an insect waving its antenna.
A word of advice. Don't wave back. have aligned and the rift is open. Bring our Techian home.
Awkward question, given the timing. Can someone fact-check my knowledge about the Ascended Plane? Some of what I know came from Cyrus, and I'd rather be safe than sorry.
It's the backstage of the universe, Crow. Sculpted by willpower and imagination. What do they teach you in the city?
Mostly point, shoot, and jump.
I knew you'd be back. I'm so glad we get to talk. You and that charming little ghost of yours, you're not like the rest. You're not afraid of my words. Words are just thoughts given shape. Ideas emerging into the physical world, birthed by a mouth. Not good or evil, not light or dark, or this or that. And you understand, don't you? Despite the excruciatingly binary worldview of those around you. You don't have to say it. We've all heard it before. The line between light and dark is so very thin. As if you were incapable of lifting your eyes from a scroll of chalk on the ground. The traveler in the light near one foot, your old enemies and the darkness at the other. Let me tell you a secret. If you ever want to see what's been watching you since the very beginning, just stand on that line and look up.
We awoken were born of light and dark. Our perspective on the universe is a complex one. The light is not inherently good, as your warlords of the Dark Age so clearly demonstrated. In spite of Zavala's preconceptions, darkness is not inherently evil. Some among you already discovered this on Europa. In my travels, I have seen true evil. It is the worm gods that the Hive serve. It is the Black Fleet, waiting to strike. It is the entity that commands them all. The voice in the darkness. These creatures are not evil because they wield darkness. They are evil because, like Savathun and Zivu Araf, they are cruel, hateful things with no regard for the lives of others. Some might say that includes me as well. I will let history be the judge of my guilt. Before that judgment is cast, I will see my Techians returned. Perhaps with them I can save us all.
Come in, Crow. How's it going down there?
Quite well. We're getting the information we need, piece by piece.
I was more interested in how you're getting along with Mara and Petra.
I know how to behave around people. You don't have to keep an eye on me.
I've had my eye on you for longer than you know. Ikora out.
Clint, do you know if Ikora...
I'd suggest you not even think about it.
It's over. The beacons have aligned and the rift is open. Bring our Techian home.
This is a world divided. With the Techians, we can begin to stabilize it. I am presenting you with this responsibility, Guardian.
To my knowledge, the downfall of the Dreaming City is not the doing of Guardians.
Guardians found a cracked pane of glass and decided to crash through it. Now that I've returned to the scattered pieces, you feign ignorance to how they got there.
I am not feigning ignorance. I am ignorant. I was dead for a very long time, you see.
Yes. Osiris spoke of you frequently during our visits.
Then you understand that if he does not return, you answer to me.
Fear not, Saint. Everything is as it should be. Do your part, and I will do mine.
Osiris was like family to me. Why do you have such a problem with me, Petra? 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking.
The Queen of the Reef forbids it.
Well, I don't take commands from the Queen of the Reef.
Savathun unraveled the Dreaming City with a single wish. I've spent years trying to contain that mistake. Better men than you died because of it.
To my ear, it sounds like you're the liability. Maybe your queen's trust in you was misplaced. A knife against a hunter? I'd be more careful who you pick fights with.
Another step, and my Corsairs will have to prepare you a second grave.
Save it for the hive, both of you. This isn't getting us anywhere. Thank you. We could all probably use a minute to cool off. Oh no.
Keep both eyes on that one.
You can't stop the inevitable. No one can, though Petra Van seems perfectly willing to try. I've always sympathized with Crow, you know. All the kind words I shared with him as Osiris were sincere. I know what it's like to be in exile. To be hated for things outside of your control. It would be better for Crow if we talked. I want to explain why I did what I did. I want him to know that my affection is true, because the less he knows, the more vulnerable he is. Doomed to be strung along by false promises from supposed benefactors. But then again, I'm the one trapped in the crystal prison. What do I know?
Good time? Venge thinks I'm vulnerable, and I'm supposed to just take a seat? Like I was the only one fooled by Savathun wearing Osiris' skin? You'd known him far longer than I thought I had, but I don't see her forbidding you from speaking to her. Because it's not about me. It's about who I was, isn't it? Every time the Vanguard tells me that things will get better, I thank them. As if it's a privilege not to be beaten to death. Our past lives aren't supposed to matter. I'm beginning to wonder why I'm the only Guardian being judged by mine. No more apologies. No more creeping around on eggshells. I deserve an audience with Savathun. I deserve to know how much of what she told me as Osiris was a lie. I deserve answers.
I don't need to be Marasov to see into your mind, Guardian. You think I'm making a mistake. You think I barred Crow out of pettiness. I won't say I didn't recommend it, but it was the Queen's order, for his own safety. I see Prince Uldren's arrogance in him, his desire to please. He's vulnerable. Uldren and your Crow are echoes of each other. Surely you can see that. They share kindred weaknesses. Savathun will exploit them again if we let her. But with Mara back, I can finally see the end approaching. It's been a long time coming. There are still Techians in need of your strength. I wish I could fill their place, but this must be how things are. I'm here if you need me.
Each ascendant beacon will reawaken reclaims a road once lost to me, broadens my sight. But my realm still aches. Savathun has done so much to destroy everything my people worked for. She stole my brother from me, twisted his mind, and delivered him to his executioners. Then she had the audacity to steal him from the Traveler, manipulate him, and lead him back home. It is strange, having him here. And yet not. Crow is a wounded bird, flinching away from me, so much like Uldren, but lost without a guiding hand. Do you understand why I forbade him from speaking with Savathun? This reunion is such cruel kindness. I will find a way to repay her for it. And you will continue to bring me the Techians I need to do so.
Petra, I just realized where I recognize you from. Spider's place on the Tangled Shore.
Could be. He and I worked together when our desires aligned.
What did he do to keep you coming back? Put a bomb in a friend of yours?
You know, he sent me a message recently. Something about bringing a bird back to its nest. done. We've detected the Lost Techian's location through the beacon network. Bring her home.
So that's another rescued Techian. Exactly how many of them did you just fling in here? Were you hoping if you hurled enough bodies at the Ascendant Plane, maybe your troubles would go away?
Watch your tone, Crow.
Or what? You'll leave me for dead here too?
Oh, I'll do more than that.
I've been thinking about family quite a bit. What with all the spare time I have. It might surprise you to hear, but everything my siblings and I have done has been for each other. Even though the Vanguard isn't quite the same, they're no different at heart. You'd do anything for your family, chosen or otherwise. Go to any lengths to avenge them. Look at the Crow and Queen Mara. Siblings, bonded by cosmic fate, forever orbiting one another like binary stars. Mara reminds me of my sister. She's afraid, holding on so tightly because she can't bear to lose one more thing. But we all have to let go. When I am separated from my worm, I'll be separated from Xivu Arath too. And then my sister will be alone. The last of us. But as much as I care for her, I cannot stay like this.
We are surrounded. A ring of spears pointing inward from the edges of our system. The Black Fleet could have destroyed us, and yet they have waited. Why? Savathun knows more than she lets on. It is the only reason she still lives, and she is keenly aware of that fact. It is why Xivu Arath pursues her so relentlessly. For Xivu Arath answers to the same entity as the Black Fleet. We must uncover whatever secrets she knows with the time that we have. I must reiterate, she will try to betray us. It is all that a wretched, self-serving creature like Savathun knows how to do. She needs me to free herself of her worm, but after that, the blind well requires alignment. As you rescue my remaining Techians, continue your audiences with her. How did Mies Rex put it? We must all learn to live alongside our monsters. Though I suppose he never said for how long.
We used to dream about this. Far-off kingdoms, countless witches, mystic adventures among the stars. Remember, Crow?
They were only stories. It passed the time.
You wrote them down like in a book. I always kept the pages on you so Spider wouldn't find them.
Glint, enough.
My brother was a storyteller too. He spun the most fabulous fables for our people's children. I have copies in my library, if you like.
That won't be necessary.
Well done. We've detected the Lost Techian's location through the beacon network. Bring her home.
Taken, Scorn, the Hive. Our true enemies aligned to a spearhead to halt our rescues of the Techians.
No mention of House Salvation or the Cabal?
House Salvation is in ruins. You saw to that. As for the Cabal, I am not worried about Empress Keitel. She and I will see eye to eye one day. But Callus...
I agree. Callus is a problem. We should discuss what the Vanguard found aboard the Glykon. In private.
When this is over, I wonder if Mara will uphold her end of the bargain and let me live. Killing me is probably at the top of your to-do list as well, isn't it? You've done a lot of killing over the years. Let me ask you something. Of all the enemies you've fought, how many saw your ghost and realized, that's why Guardians are so strong? Not most, but some. They might have even taken a shot at it. R.I.P. Cade. Now, how many saw beyond your ghost? How many followed the line of your light straight back to the Traveler? And how many knew enough to aim a weapon there? A few. The smart ones, the dangerous ones. You'd recognize their names. Listen to me now. Look beyond me to my worm. Look beyond my worm to something far, far worse. Then look down at that little gun in your hand and tell me, what do you think you're going to do with that thing?
My coven of Techians is almost assembled. Well done. Soon all there will be left to do is wait for the ley lines to fall into position. Then we may exorcise Savathun's worm and reclaim Osiris. She divulges more to you than I, Guardian, though it can be difficult to separate poisonous words from the honeyed ones. I worry that the Crow is especially susceptible. I feel the desire for approval in him, as I felt it in Aldrin, and he idolized Osiris, almost as much as he idolizes you. Do not forget what has been asked of you. Until the ritual is ready, continue charting ley line passages. We are so close to bringing the last of my lost Techians home.
Professor. Her obsession is beyond sword logic. This seems personal.
The bond between siblings surpasses any form of logic. I once had a sister myself. She was a Techian, just like those we're rescuing. She was killed in the rays of Amethyst. I still see her in my dreams and meditations. But sentiment has no place in this fight. Savathun understands that. I hope Mara does too. Excellent work, Guardian. We couldn't have done it without you.
Crow, I didn't receive your latest report.
Yeah, I've had a lot going on out here, on top of getting the runaround from middle management.
That sort of attitude might fly out in the reef, but you will take your responsibilities as a Guardian seriously.
I will, I do. Sorry. I have a lot on my mind.
I know. Just remember, you don't have to bear that burden alone.
You were kind to me. I thought you were my friend.
Am I not?
You lied to me!
I helped you break Xivu Aras's hold on the shore, brought you to the last city, offered you guidance.
Stop.
If that's what you want.
I want the truth.
I was kind to you because I wanted to be. Because the truth hurts. You know this better than anyone. Shrinking away from the rumors of the man you used to be.
I'm not him.
How can you say that when you don't even know who he is? If the truth is what you really want, then lay your hand on me.
Crow, don't. Please.
See? Even your ghost thinks you're better off in the dark.
Everything I did. Crow, don't. Don't come any closer. What did you show him?
Everything.
No, wait! You hurt him.
Someone had to. Better for it to have come from a friend. Don't give me that look. I told you that you can't stop the inevitable. Deep down, Crow wanted to know. He was going to find out one way or another, Guardian taboos or no. You should thank me. Just imagine if it had come from someone with bad intentions. Someone who could have colored the truth about how he died to turn him against you. Against the Traveler. But I would never do such a thing. I see too much of myself in him. We were both looking for our purpose. Now that the Crow has found his as a Guardian, he can see it for what it truly is. A second chance. Something to reflect on. If people didn't want him to know, was it to protect Crow from himself? Or was it to protect themselves from Crow? I do so enjoy our talks.
Aldrin Sav, awoken prince, brother to the queen, murderer. Now I know the man I was. And you. I'm sorry. You did what you had to do. I don't think I would have told me either. Savathun's visions were like a waking dream. I could feel the heat of the flames, taste the blood in my mouth. I saw everything he did through his eyes. You're afraid of who I used to be, that he'll come back somehow. I am too. So I've asked Ikora to put me on another assignment. One where I can be somewhere I know my choices are my own. Tell Mara. Tell her whatever you want. I'll see you again when I'm ready.
When I first saw Crow, I looked into his mind. I did not see my brother's memories. Savathun dredged them from a place beyond my grasp when she revealed his past life to him. She suspects I do not mean to let her live once the separation ritual is complete, and is testing our patience. Perhaps she means only to hurt me. The risk of her cunning is too great, no matter her intentions. Until the conditions are right for us to exorcise her worm, I am restricting all access to Savathun. I will, however, afford you one last meeting to conclude your investigations before I seal her away. Steel your mind when you face her, Guardian. The Witch Queen is no less dangerous now than she has ever been. We have one last Techian to locate. Go forth. Out. All this conflict, all this death, repeated in an endless feeding cycle to a god of war. Even this, battling to free Savathun from her worm, I fear we starve one threat to feed another. And yet I have no better solution. I just have hope. And that is, perhaps, the greatest terror of them all.
It's over. The beacons have aligned and the rift is open. Bring our Techian home.
Mara, have your Techians ever utilized a power like stasis?
Not as such. Our manipulations of the light and dark are different than what you Guardians do, or what House Salvation did. We are closer to House Salvation's manipulation of paracausal forces through technology. But I see little difference between their stasis channeling technology and your ghosts, outside of levels of sophistication.
As always, not the answer I was expecting, but an intriguing one nevertheless. We'll talk more later. Preparations for Savathun's exorcism are underway, but the ritual can't begin without a cosmic alignment. It will take time. I want to express my gratitude for saving our new coven of Techians. They are young, with many years left to train. You've preserved their potential. Thank you. I tried to do the same for Crow, even if it pains my queen to see him leave. It's hard to imagine there's a safer place for him than at her side, but this is for the best. You saw what Savathun did to him. She could do more. Prince Uldren and I were friends once, you know. In our own strange way. I still think about him all the time. The sound of that gunshot. He's free now. To find his way between the stars. If only we could all be so lucky.
I've been keeping tabs on you. Your victories against my sister. The mess you've made of the Ascendant Plane while you rescued your third-string witches. Delightful to see so many working towards a common goal, isn't it? I'm glad I can again be the catalyst that brings humanity and the reef together. It's a pity Mara Sov doesn't see it that way. Her face is a perfect porcelain mask. But look behind her eyes, and you can see the incandescent rage burning within. She's very upset with me. This will be our last talk until the day of the ritual, O Guardian Mine. Now that Mara Sov's coven is assembled, the only thing left to do is to keep Xivu Arath from ruining things while the ley lines fall into position. This may take some time, but I have waited millennia to be free. I can hold out for just a little bit longer. Farewell, for now.
The time is at hand. The beacons shine bright and the ley lines are set in place. My Techians are prepared to perform the ritual that will separate Savathun from her worm. Although she claims she will help us in our fight against the Black Fleet and the entity that commands it, she cannot be trusted. You have coaxed enough information from her for my purposes. I will do what must be done. But know that Xivu Arath won't let her sister, or her sister's worm, go without a fight. I call on you once more, Guardian. Your knack for violence is needed. Make your final preparations and head to the Dreaming City. We will see you when you arrive. Guardian, thanks to your efforts, my coven is reassembled. Once the blind well is prepared, the ritual to exorcise Savathun's worm will begin.
The Hive are disrupting the alignment of the blind well. Realign the beacons to activate the ley line network.
The ley lines thrum with energy. All is in readiness. Assemble in my spire for the ritual. Look to the sky, God. Hear the worm gods roar. After millennia of insatiable destruction, they are powerless against my retribution.
Corsairs to me! Fall back to the entrance! This is Xivu Arath's last chance to capture Savathun. She's dispatching all local forces to the spire. Hold this line to the last soldier! For the reef! Guardian, with the ley lines activated, Xivu Arath's forces are pouring in from the Ascendant Plane. We're being overrun! Break through the hive lines!
Guardian, commune with us. The ritual is about to begin.
Hello, my love. Osiris admired your patience, but you look antsy to me. Having doubts?
Doubt is a useful tool, but double-edged. Do not let it lead you astray.
Ugh!
Leave him be, and keep to your promises, or I'll let him drag you into Xivu Arath's waiting jaws.
And then she would swallow you as well. Why must we threaten each other?
I am merely clarifying my intent. It is time. Yelaya, Sajari, Austin, and Savathun. We are sisters of circumstance, bonded by fate. Open those bonds to each other. Become one. Expel the parasite from our collective. This moment is simply the strike of a match. The fires we light here will burn long after. Be ready.
Large concentrations of Xivu Arath's forces are closing in on our position. Protect the queens.
None shall enter!
Xivu Arath's forces are converging on your position. Defend Queen Mara and the Techians until the ritual is complete.
You're running out of time. I feel my sister bearing down on you.
Your family is tenacious, if nothing else.
No more than yours.
My brother spent years suffering punishment for the path you made him walk. Finally, justice finds its mark. Let this be the end of it.
Thank you.
Transmission logs from...
Plans are fickle things. Two can view the same events and predict entirely different outcomes. I was outmaneuvered, and Savathun slipped through my fingers. I was sure that this path, these actions were absolute. But change is a prolonged effort. It requires application of steady pressure. There will always be backslides. Do not lose the summit in the climb. After Saint 14 returned Osiris to your tower, my Techians verified his identity. Savathun upheld her end of the bargain. And she did not escape unscathed. Her worm is mine. It will grant many insights, I am sure. The curse on the dreaming city can yet be broken. Go home, Guardian. Prepare for what is inevitably to come.
Osiris lives. Thank you, friend. Savathun tried to bury him, to use him like currency for bargaining. She wore his face and spoke with his voice, but they were not his words. I did not believe the Witch Queen would hold to her promise. I thought I would never see him again. He is lost in sleep. Without the light, it is difficult to know if he will recover. But he is safe. I need time, Guardian. I will see to Osiris's care. When he awakens, I want my face to be the first he sees. Perhaps I will joke that now we are even. Savathun has many enemies, but she has never faced Saint 14. We will find her, and this time, it is her who will be buried. We take back ground every day, friend. Keep pushing.